And halfway through the movie, the guy throws up his arms and says, "This sucks." And he walks down out of the theater, and I hear his feet echoing.
Before Sam Raimi created cinema's most stylized Western revenge tale, The Quick and the Dead was dismissed as too excessive and visually exhausting.
That a character is watching in his movie Nightmare on Elm Street, I guess as to say, no, your movie, Evil Dead.
By critics who couldn't grasp its deliberate comic book aesthetic.
And this is a movie about gun nuts, really. Just not modern gun nuts, this is gun nuts back then. And it was a very interesting time for guns because
The cast has finally revealed secrets that will transform your understanding of the film that proved Sharon Stone wielded genuine power in Hollywood and introduced the world to an unknown actor named Leonardo DiCaprio through sheer star determination.
He told me about this project and told me the people that were involved, and once I read the script, it was so...
The Sharon Stone power play that changed everything. What most fans don't realize is that The Quick and the Dead existed only because Sharon Stone used her post-Basic Instinct power to force the film into production and dictate creative control unprecedented for actresses in 1995.
And so while I sat there in a back brace and a cervical collar in my empty house that I now could not really keep,
the decision to leverage her box office value for creative authority rather than just salary-created template for female-driven action cinema while proving women could greenlight and shape major studio productions. Sharon Stone revealed years later her deliberate strategy to gain control. After Basic Instinct made hundreds of millions, I had brief window where studios would do what I wanted. I chose this Western specifically because it was genre that excluded women. I told Sony I'd do the film only if I had casting approval, director approval, and control over the creative vision. They agreed because my name meant box office. The actress's calculated use of power was revolutionary for its era. Sam Raimi disclosed that Sharon's involvement was the only reason the film happened. Studios weren't making westerns in 1995. The genre was considered dead. Nobody wanted to finance a stylized gunfighter tournament movie. Sharon's attachment and her box office power forced Sony to greenlight a project they never would have considered otherwise. She literally willed the film into existence through star power. The actress's insistence on having final say over casting and creative decisions challenged traditional studio hierarchy. Sharon fought with executives constantly about every aspect of production, revealed producers. She wasn't being difficult. She was exercising the creative control she'd negotiated. Male stars did this routinely, but female stars asserting that level of authority was unprecedented and made everyone uncomfortable. Gene Hackman noted how Stone's power dynamic affected the production. Sharon was producer and star, which meant she had authority that actors rarely possess. Some crew members resented taking direction from an actress. But she'd earned that power through commercial success and used it to realize her vision. The resistance she faced showed how threatening female authority remained, even when contractually legitimate. The Leonardo DiCaprio discovery that Stone forced Sharon Stone's insistence on casting unknown Leonardo DiCaprio over studio objections wasn't just good instinct. It was strategic decision that demonstrated her creative judgment while launching one of cinema's greatest careers. What the cast revealed about this casting battle shows how Stone's determination to choose her own supporting cast paid immediate dividends while proving her creative instincts were commercially sound. The studio's resistance to casting the unknown DiCaprio was fierce and sustained throughout pre-production. Sony wanted established actors with box office track records, disclosed casting director Ellen Lewis. Sharon kept insisting on this kid from television who nobody knew. The studio thought she was making terrible mistake that would hurt the film's commercial prospects. She refused to back down and eventually used her contractual casting approval to force their acceptance. Sharon Stone revealed why she fought so hard for DiCaprio.
My own sense of what I wanted to do. And I realized I didn't want to make any more stupid.
I saw Leo in this boy's life and knew he was special. The studio wanted safe choices, but I wanted the best actor for the role regardless of name recognition. I literally paid part of his salary out of my own pocket to get him cast because Sony wouldn't budget for someone they considered a nobody. That's how certain I was about his talent. Leonardo DiCaprio disclosed his gratitude for Stone's belief in him. Sharon put her reputation and money on the line to give me that opportunity. The studio didn't want me and made that clear throughout production. Sharon's support and protection allowed me to take risks and deliver performance that launched my career. I owe her everything for that faith when nobody else believed. The immediate vindication of Stone's judgment when DiCaprio delivered extraordinary performance silenced studio doubts. Leo's work was so good that Sony immediately regretted their resistance, noted Sam Raimi. Sharon's casting instinct proved better than the studio's conventional wisdom about bankable names. Her willingness to fight for unknown actor demonstrated creative judgment that male producers exercised routinely, the Sam Raimi style, that divided everyone. The film's extreme visual stylization wasn't compromised with Western conventions. It was Sam Raimi's deliberate translation of his horror aesthetic into Western genre. What the cast revealed about his approach shows how the comic book cinematography and exaggerated violence created love-it-or-hate-it experience that either thrilled or exhausted audiences with no middle ground possible. Sam Raimi disclosed his vision for the project. I wanted to make Western that looked like Sergio Leone directed a comic book. The extreme close-ups, the impossible camera movements, the operatic violence, everything was heightened beyond realism. Traditional Westerns were too slow and staid. I wanted energy and visual excitement that conventional genre filmmaking avoided. The director's style overwhelmed some viewers while exhilarating others. The decision to use rapid-fire editing and extreme visual techniques during the gunfights created controversy. Every duel was shot from impossible angles with CGI-enhanced camera moves that showed bullets in flight, revealed cinematographer Dante Spinotti. The style was intentionally excessive and artificial. Sam wanted audiences to feel the visceral impact of gunfights, rather than watch them with detached realism. Sharon Stone revealed that the visual excess was exactly what attracted her to the project. I wanted Western that didn't look like every other Western. Sam's horror background meant he'd bring completely fresh visual perspective to tired genre. The critics who hated the style missed that the excess was the point. We were making stylized revenge fantasy, not realistic historical drama. The tournament structure that broke genre rules. The gunfighter competition that drives the plot wasn't traditional Western storytelling. It was unconventional structure borrowed from martial arts tournaments. What the cast revealed about this narrative choice shows how the film rejected Western genre conventions to create something that felt simultaneously familiar and completely new within the established framework. The decision to structure the entire film around Elimination Tournament was a controversial departure from Western narrative traditions. Westerns don't typically use tournament structures. They build toward single climactic confrontation, disclosed screenwriter Simon Moore. The bracket-style competition with multiple duels gave us way to showcase various gunfighters while building toward inevitable showdown between heroine and villain. The structure was more Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome than traditional Western. Russell Crowe noted how the tournament format affected character development. Traditional Westerns develop characters through journey and encounters. Our film developed them through how they approached each duel. You learned about characters through their fighting style and attitude toward killing rather than through dialogue or backstory. The compressed structure required efficiency that rejected Western's typical pacing. Gene Hackman disclosed that the tournament was metaphor for Hollywood power structures. Herod controls the competition like studio executives control careers. He decides who lives and dies, who advances, and who's eliminated. The film was commentary on entertainment industry power dynamics disguised as Western tournament. Sharon understood that metaphor intimately from her own experiences with Hollywood gatekeepers. The female gunfighter who changed Western canon. Sharon Stone's Ellen wasn't just woman in traditionally male role. She was complete reimagining of Western protagonist gender dynamics. What the cast revealed about portraying female gunfighter shows how the film challenged genre conventions while proving women could carry Western action without requiring masculine behavior or romantic subplot justification. The decision to make Ellen genuinely skilled rather than lucky or magically competent created credible action heroine. Sharon trained extensively with weapons to make the gunfighting believable, disclosed the stunt coordinators. She couldn't just pose with guns, she had to draw, aim, and shoot with speed and precision that justified her survival in multiple duels. The skill had to be visible and earned through training rather than assumed through gender exception. Sharon Stone revealed her approach to the character. Ellen isn't trying to be man or prove she's as good as men. She's woman who happens to be deadly gunfighter. Her gender isn't the point. Her skill and determination are. I refused to play her as masculine or to include romantic subplot that would suggest she needed male validation or partnership. She stands alone because she chooses to. Gene Hackman disclosed that Stone's physicality affected how he played Herod. Sharon was genuinely intimidating with the guns. I had to play Herod's fear and respect for her abilities as real rather than dismissive. Male actors sometimes patronize female action stars, but Sharon's skill and commitment demanded that I treat Ellen as a legitimate threat. The on-screen dynamic reflected off-screen reality of her competence. The box office disappointment that validated Stone's vision, The Quick and the Dead's modest $46 million worldwide gross against a $32 million budget, represented commercial underperformance that vindicated studio skepticism about female-driven westerns. What the cast revealed about the reception shows how the film's financial disappointment paradoxically proved Sharon Stone's creative instincts were ahead of the market, while establishing blueprint for female action vehicles that would succeed later. The film's February 1995 release positioned it in dumping ground month that signaled studios' lack of confidence. Sony buried the film in February despite Sharon's star power, disclosed marketing executives. The release date communicated that they expected failure and wanted to minimize losses. The self-fulfilling prophecy guaranteed underperformance because the studio didn't support their own investment. The critical dismissal focused on visual excess and stylization rather than the feminist reimagining of Western genre. Critics complained about Sam's camera work and the heightened aesthetic, while ignoring that we'd made Western about female revenge without romance, or male savior, noted the cast. The formal innovation got attacked while the gender politics got ignored. Both supporters and detractors missed what we'd actually accomplished. The legacy that influenced female action cinema. The Quick and the Dead's commercial disappointment didn't diminish its influence on subsequent female-driven action films. What Sharon Stone revealed about the film's lasting impact shows how it established template for women wielding creative and physical power in traditionally male genres, while proving that box office failure doesn't negate artistic achievement or cultural influence. The film's demonstration that women could carry westerns and action films influenced later female-led genre productions. Kill Bill, Mad Max Fury Road, and other female action vehicles studied what we attempted, disclosed Sharon Stone. Our commercial failure taught studios how to market female-driven action more effectively. The lessons learned from our mistakes helped later films succeed where we'd struggled. Sam Raimi noted how the visual style influenced his subsequent work and other directors. The heightened aesthetic I developed for Quick and Dead carried into Spider-Man and influenced how comic book movies approached stylization. The extreme visual techniques proved audiences would accept non-realistic aesthetics if executed with confidence and commitment. Russell Crowe disclosed that the film's failure didn't diminish its importance to his career. The Quick and the Dead connected me with American audiences and showed I could work in Hollywood productions. The film's commercial disappointment didn't prevent it from serving as calling card that led to L.A. Confidential and Gladiator. Sometimes influence matters more than box office. Watch the film again with appreciation for Sharon Stone's revolutionary use of star power, Sam Raimi's bold visual experimentation, and its influence on female action cinema despite commercial failure. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into films where female stars wielded unprecedented creative control. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads, and let us know in the comments.